Who is the ultimate warrior, the samurai or the ninja? If you fight head-on with a sword, that's the samurai. If you slip in from the shadows, that's the ninja. You may have pictured something like that yourself. But if that's how you see it, it's not just a misunderstanding of history. To put it more plainly, it's a dangerous way of thinking for those of us living today. Because this misunderstanding quietly narrows the range of choices about what we should protect and how we should survive. Choices that are essential to how we live our lives. Generally speaking, the samurai, known in Japanese as Bushi, were an official warrior class that valued honor and loyalty. The ninja, on the other hand, are believed to have been specialists who prioritized survival and returning alive to complete their missions. In this video, through the differences between samurai and ninja, we'll explore two survival strategies that still resonate today. Thank you for joining me. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Samurai and Ninja. Who were they, really? Let's begin with the samurai. The samurai served their lords and protected land and social order. Especially from the Edo period onward, the samurai became institutionalized, and fulfilling loyalty, responsibility, and one's role was idealized. In modern terms, they resemble full-time employees in large organizations that demand belonging in exchange for stability. Personal judgment comes second, while the will of the organization comes first. The ninja were completely different. Those called ninja or shinobi were not battlefield heroes. Their work was to gather information, infiltrate, disrupt, and then bring back results without fail. The ninja controlled not just battles, but the nature of conflict itself. Chapter 2, Different Societies, Organization versus Skill-Based Collectives. Samurai society was built on clear hierarchies. A lord's command was absolute. Personal judgment yielded to duty. There was security, but little freedom. In contrast, regions like Iga and Koga fostered autonomous societies, where people survived through discussion and cooperation. Ninjas sometimes served specific lords, but at their core, they were specialists evaluated by ability. In modern terms, they were like highly skilled engineers, or professional teams for special operations. For the ninja, what mattered was not a title, but usable knowledge and the power to act. Chapter 3, Ninja, Specialists in the Knowledge of Survival. Before they were masters of the sword, the ninja were masters of knowledge. They read direction from the stars, memorized terrain and weather, and made medicine from plants along the road. These were not legends. For their time, this was cutting-edge practical knowledge. Gunpowder was no exception. It wasn't just for explosions. They controlled smoke quantity, color, and duration, using it for signals, confusion, and concealment. The ninja did not ask how to fight, but how to survive scientifically. Chapter 4, Honor and Survival, Opposing Values. The samurai ideal was to face matters directly, and take clear responsibility. Over time, a resolute death came to be praised as honorable. Ninja philosophy was the opposite. Ninjutsu manuals emphasize safe return and information delivery. Running, hiding, deceiving, all were rational choices to complete the mission. This was not cowardice. Their roles were simply different. Chapter 5, Ninja Tools, Ultimate Minimalism. Ninja tools shared one defining trait. Each served multiple purposes. Take the uchigana, for example. It started fires, but that wasn't all. It distracted enemies with sound, crushed medicine in emergencies, and sometimes even served as a signaling device. Short swords were the same. They worked well in tight spaces. Some records suggest the scabbard itself was meant to be used as a foothold or tool. 5 functions in one tool. This ultimate minimalism defined the ninja. Chapter 6. What is strength? What does strength really mean? Weapons, combat skill, winning or losing. But samurai and ninja coexisted in history, suggesting a very different answer. Samurai's strength was unwavering belief. They never lost sight of who they were or why they lived. Ninja's strength was adaptability. They abandoned yesterday's answers to survive today. Japanese history required both forms of strength at the same time. Chapter 7. Not opposition, but integration. Samurai and ninja were not enemies. History shows their boundary was often blurred. In Iga and Koga lived Jisamurai. They acted as samurai before lords. At the same time, they mastered ninja skills, like intelligence gathering and covert action. 2 ways of living existed within a single person. So perhaps the idea that we must choose one or the other is an illusion. Final chapter, a message for the modern age. The samurai asked, "What do I live for?" The ninja asked, "How do I survive?" These are not opposites. Without both, no one survives long. Belief alone is swallowed by change. Flexibility alone makes us lose ourselves. Japanese history teaches us quietly. A way of life is not chosen once, but chosen again and again. Sometimes, you decide with samurai resolve. At other times, you move like a ninja and read the situation. This ability to switch may be the true strength of our age. And you right now. Which way of living will you choose? That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. I'll see you again in the next video.